Okay, so starting right here with 24, it says an air traffic control tower is located at 00 on the coordinate plane. Aircraft A is located at 3952 and aircraft B is located at 2560. What statement is true about this situation? It says aircraft A is closer to the control tower, aircraft B is closer to the control tower. Both aircrafts are the same distance, and OAB is an equilateral triangle. So what I did is I just kind of sketched out a coordinate plane to kind of see what they were talking about. And just based on this, I can tell that it's not an equilateral triangle, so I can cross that out right away. So now I'm trying to determine whether A or B is closer to the control tower right here. And the only way I can do that is to just use the distance formula. So they gave me coordinates here. The distance formula is on the reference sheet for the EOC. So I just pulled this distance formula right off of here and put it here. And then I'm going to use that to figure out which point here is closer or further from the control tower. So the coordinates here, I'm going to label 00x1, y1. And then the first set of coordinates x2, y2, and I'll find the distance between these 2 points. So setting it up in the distance formula, distance equals square root x2, 39 minus 0 squared plus 52 minus 0 squared like this. So I get 39 squared plus 52 squared. And that comes out to 1521 plus 52 squared is 2704. I can't remember. 52 squared. 2704. So it's going to be square root of whatever this comes out to. 4,225 is the number it comes out to. And square root of that is 65. So the distance between A and the control tower here is 65 units. And then I need to do the same thing for B to the control tower. So over here, again, distance formula again. Now my x2, y2 are going to be the coordinates for B right here. So I will do 25 minus 0 squared plus 60 minus 0 squared. 25 squared plus 60 squared. This comes out to 625 plus 3,600. Add those values up, it comes out to 4225, which is 65 units. So B is also 65 units from the control tower. So based on that, we can say that both aircrafts are the same distance from the control tower. Okay, moving on to the next question. It says, I'm going to zoom in here too. So a triangle drawn on the coordinate plane has these vertices. Which expression represents the slope BC? Okay, so for slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we need to find the slope between the 2 points. This slope formula, again, is on the reference sheet, so we can just pull that from right there and then write it down. Okay, so it's saying the slope from B to C. So I'll call this x1, y1, x2, y2, and then plug in the coordinates. So I got 0 minus 2b over 2c minus 0. And I'm just going to go ahead and simplify this as much as I can. 0 minus 2b would be negative 2b over 2c minus 0 is just 2c. These common factor, I can divide both by 2, and I'll get negative b over c as my answer. So that would be A. A negative divided by a positive is just negative, so these are correct. Okay, the next, it says the given triangle will be used in a coordinate proof. What are the coordinates of the midpoint of QR? So midpoint of QR right here, so I'm looking for what this point is. The equation for midpoint on the reference sheet is right here. So I will write that down. So it's x1 plus x2 divided by 2, y1 plus y2 divided by 2. This will be x1, y1, x2, y2, and then I can plug in numbers into my equation. So x1 would be 2b plus 2d divided by 2. y1 2c plus 0 divided by 2. And I will continue to simplify. So in this situation, I can just divide each of these factors by 2. So 2b divided by 2 would just be b. 2d divided by 2 is d. And then 2c plus 0 is just going to be 2c. Divide both of them by 2, and we're left with c. So this here is my coordinates, and it would be d. Okay, next problem. It says find the value of x given the triangle below. Okay, so here it shows that all these angles are the same. In a triangle, all the angles add up to 180. So this would be 6x plus 18. This would be 6x plus 18. So 6x plus 18 equals 180 degrees. And we can solve it this way. 18x plus 18 times 3 is 54. Continue solving the equation. And x equals 7. Another way that you could set this up, since each of these angles will be 60 degrees, is you could put 6x plus 18 equal to 60 and solve it this way, and you'd get the same answer, x equals 7. Okay, the next one, it says that we have two triangles. It says these parts are congruent. Which additional statement would prove that they are congruent? Okay, so I'm going to draw a picture. J, K, L, and P, Q, R. By drawing a picture, you can just look at it and determine the answer. Let's see. So have the two triangles. It says JK is congruent to PQ. JL is congruent to PR. What additional information is needed to prove that they are congruent? Well, you could have, I'm just going to go through the answer choices. There's different ways, but I'll see what they're looking for here. So angle J equal to angle P. That would give us side angle side, side angle side. So yes, that would prove they're congruent. I'm going to check the other ones too. So it says L equal to R. Then you would have ASS, ASS. That is not a congruent statement. JK congruent to PR. That doesn't really make sense. JL congruent to KL. Well, no. So A is the answer. Okay, and then 29, it says use coordinate geometry to determine the type of triangle formed below. Okay, so equilateral, isosceles, and scalene is based on side length. Equilateral means all sides will be the same, and I can clearly see that not all sides are congruent, so it's not equilateral. I need to decide between isosceles and scalene, so I'm going to see if these two sides are the same length. If they're the same length, then it would be isosceles. And the way I'm going to determine their length is by using Pythagorean theorem. Let's see, so this, it'd be 1 unit by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I can do 1 squared plus 5 squared equals c squared to find this length. So I get 26 equals c squared, square root, square root. So this is square root of 26. And then for this one over here, 1 unit by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it happens to be the same unit. So 1 squared plus 5 squared equals c squared would give me this length. Same problem, same dimensions. It'll come out to square root of 26 equals c. So therefore, these two sides are the same length. So this is an isosceles triangle and not a scalene triangle. And now I have to determine whether it's right, acute, or obtuse. What I'm going to do is to determine if this is a 90-degree angle, I'm going to find the slope of AB and the slope of AC. So I'm going to find the slope of AB and the slope of AC. And if these slopes are negative reciprocals, then it is a right triangle. So that's what I'm looking for. So slope formula, we wrote it over here. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So for AB, this will be x1, y1, x2, y2, and I'll plug it into the slope formula. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 is negative 5 over 1. Okay, so now I'm looking for a negative reciprocal. So I'm looking for this slope to be a positive 1/5 if they're perpendicular. So for AC, got x1, y1, I'll have this x2, y2. So is that, so it's 3 minus 4 over -3 minus 2. So I get -1 over -5. So that would be a positive 1/5. So these are negative reciprocals. So that means it is a right triangle because these two lines are perpendicular. So I can cross these out. Okay, and that is all for that page.